Hey, it's James for Read More Comics. It's been a minute. I've been under the weather, and then with work, with teaching, kind of winding down as we get to winter break. It's been a few weeks since I've shared anything about comic books, whether it was my polls for BuyMeToys.com in beautiful Mishawaka, Indiana, hunting comics at half price books online, any of that. And I have a lot of books I want to share. So let's get into it. Hey, if you like my content, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell in the corner so every time I post something new, you get a notification. As I shared, it's been a minute since I have shared anything about comic books. And I do have a stack because it was a few weeks before I went to my LCS to empty out my pull folder, my pull bin, my pull box, whatever you want to call it. I've accumulated some things and I have some stuff I want to share. So starting out, this was a freebie. This is Marvel Must-Haves. This is issue number 5. I did not realize this. I thought this was a previews catalog when I first saw it. This is actually a reprint of, let's see, it says right here, we get an issue of Hulk number 3, which is a Red Hulk story, Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider number 1, and Daredevil 227. So it's actually the reprint of 3 separate comics. It was a freebie, and apparently this is something that Marvel has been doing for some time, and I must have been oblivious to it. I flipped through it. This Spider-Gwen story might be something that I kind of lean into a little bit more. I'm not going to like pull it or search it out or anything like that. But for a freebie, it was kind of nice for Buy Me Toys to throw that in because I know it's not free. And at the very least, I'll put it in my free comic book day short box. And when we get to Halloween next year, this might be something that goes home with someone who loves comic books. So starting with my Marvel books, we have Captain America issue number 16 with J. Michael Straczynski. This is the Torrin Clark cover. Uh, Gorgeous Captain America. Very reminiscent of some of Alex Ross's work, I think, with kind of the bullets and the pose. This is Straczynski's last issue on this run. I know he's supposed to do some one-shots, like some versus books or whatever like that. I'm not sure how I feel about the run. I love Captain America. Chris Evans did that for me. Uh, but this, I don't know. It started out really strong for me. I liked what he was doing with kind of the flashbacks, looking at Captain America before he was Cap, during World War II, as he was growing up, and then kind of bouncing forward. The mystical side of it kind of worked for me because an issue I've had with characters like Captain America, Batman over in DC is not much better, is when you have kind of these global threats. Why is Captain America handling it on his own? Why isn't he picking up the phone and dialing in Avengers? It doesn't make sense. The last run, sorry, still getting over a bug. The last volume, I think this was it the Symbol of Truth, Sentinel of Liberty kind of Sam Cap book. Kind of, it struggled with that. It's like here you have a global threat and it just some low-powered heroes in Captain America. Where's Thor, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, uh, it's been an enjoyable run. I liked it for what it's worth, but I'm still looking for that good Captain America book. Uh, Kind of an aside, I've been working on my Brewbreaker run, and that's probably going to be kind of the rubric for it. Next up, we have Conquest 2099, issue number 5. This is the Leadkilla variant. This has been fun. I haven't read Conquest 2099. This was the sequel to, what was it, Annihilation 2099, which introduced a whole bunch of 2099 characters. I only pulled that because of Silver Surfer 2099, and that's an awesome origin story. If you haven't read it, it is one of my low-key, sorry, I just won an eBay auction that I kind of sniped. Anyway, it is one of, I don't know, this year, it's one of those books that kind of flew under the radar, and there were multiple really solid origin stories. for characters that I don't think get enough love. And the Silver Surfer 2099 was such a twisted origin. So I'm looking forward to reading this. This is the final book. And the nice thing about this, I'll read it in one sitting and hopefully it'll stand up. Next up, we have Fantastic Four issue number 27. This is part of Ryan North's killer run on this. If you are not reading Fantastic Four with Ryan North, get in on this. Every issue is an on-ramp, okay? Because they're one-shots. He's done some wonderful podcasts. What was it? It was it was a Matt Rosenberg podcast, and he also did the off-panel podcast, and he talks about how his whole concept for this was to do one-shots, very kind of science fiction-based stories, so anybody can get into Fantastic Four. And this entire volume has been stellar. It's really one of the books that I try to read month to month to month. And this one right here looks like we're dealing with Mole Man. That's also a nice thing. Usually the A cover is dealing with something inside the book, which we don't see a lot of now. Okay. We have Star Wars Ahsoka number 6. I love the comic book adaptations of all the Star Wars Disney Plus fare. This is an episode by episode book. So this is issue number 6. This would be episode number 6. I think there were 8 episodes in this, and I believe this is the first appearance of a couple different characters. Like the I don't remember it's the stormtrooper zombie guy. Anyway, that works for Thrawn. Anyway, then we have, this is, I think, where the Star Wars franchise in the Marvel Universe, the comic book universe, is going to be going, where we have Star Wars The Battle of Jakku. This is issue number 4, which I don't think Marvel did a good enough job. This is actually 8 of 12. So I got the first 4 books. This is the second chapter, if you will, the middle 4 books. And then there's another 4 books, and it's Star Wars The Battle of Jakku, and there's some other title underneath. And they changed the trade dress a little bit. I don't think Marvel did a good enough job kind of advertising that we're going to have a maxi series about the Battle of Jakku. I think more people would have gotten in on it. I don't know. Next up, we have Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 12. Wonderful kind of holiday cover. This has been an awesome read. I love the more mature Spider-Man, the more mature Peter Parker, mature in age, you know, having a family, being married. It's a more relatable character for me. While Peter Parker in the comic book is a little younger than I am, I'm a little longer than the tooth. It's more relatable because he is an adult. He's not dealing with the young man issues that a superhero would have, but more of the adult things of having kids and trying to pay his bills and having a relationship with his wife. There's supposed to be some sort of really interesting twist at the end. I have not read it yet, and so I'm not going to spoil it for you. And then, related to Ultimate Spider-Man, this is the Ultimate Universe 1 Year In. I believe this is also by Jonathan Hickman. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Marco Cicchetto is back on this, and he is amazing. Cicchetto is stellar. So, just for the art. But you also have Jonathan Hickman. And then Jonathan Hickman on year 1, or 1 year in. And I think this is setting up a bigger event coming up. I've heard rumblings in 2025. So those are all my Marvel books. And now let's get to my DC books. First up, we have Absolute Batman, issue number 3. Gorgeous Gabriel Del Otto variant cover on this. This is another on-ramp. Any of the Absolute books. I'm right now pulling all 3, the Trinity books, Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. Incredible stories. Nick Dragata is stellar on this, and I'm going to be posting a year-in video, and I'm seeing there's some creative individuals that really are harking back to some books I was reading earlier when Adult Collector. This is a wonderful story. We also have a Tom Taylor book. Excuse me. So this is Dark Knights of Steel All Winter. I'm sorry. This is under the Elseworlds imprint. This is issue number 6. I went with the Bjorn Barons. This wasn't the original book, the original cover I pulled, but I saw Bjorn Barons doing a variant for this, and I've loved his work. It's one of the reasons why I'm pulling Red Sonja right now, because you get gorgeous art. Just check this out. So this is a Viking Deathstroke. He is kind of the anti-hero in this, and I find him a more interesting anti-hero than the actual in continuity Deathstroke because of some of the more despicable things in his past, especially in the 80s and the 90s. In this one, he's done some despicable things, and but he's not seen as a hero. In fact, most people kind of hate him. But he is in a position to uh, the save the northern Scandinavian world of Dark Knights of Steel. And then there's an awesome Aquaman backstory by Tom Taylor. Okay, so that wraps that up. We got Batman and Robin, issue number 16. This is with a new creative team. Once we went to the all-in labels, Josh Williamson finished it up, and someone else has stepped in. I have not read any of these books since he stepped in. This is the Simon DeMeo variant cover. I just love the cardstock feel. I wish that was something that was kind of the norm. I understand though, like for printing prices, this is $1 more, but just the tactile quality is better. I also wish they were using a better paper. I think DC is using a better paper than Marvel is, but I think they could go a little step further. Like the Ghost Machine books, just the tactile experience is a lot. Next up, we have Batman and Robin Year One. This is issue number 3. I'm pulling the Chris Samney covers, which I'm going to be honest, Chris Samney is why I'm pulling this book. Mark Waid is amazing. Love his writing, but the art on this, Chris Samney is such a Batman fan, and it shows in his art. I'm a little behind on reading this. Only read the first book. There's kind of some wonky stuff in it. Kind of, I think there were some throwbacks to maybe some Silver Age Batman and Robin stuff. I don't know. But the art is stellar. So highly recommend that book. This is a book that, excuse me, I thought I pre-ordered, and I missed it, but they had some back issues. They had some issues on the shelf. So we got DC Horror Presents issue number 1 of 4. I already have issue number 2. This is the, just a moment, let me take off my eyes. Okay, this is the Francavilla cover. And I thought I was getting all of the Francavilla covers. I saw them on Instagram, and they're like creepy. So looking forward to reading that. This came out in October. Uh, so, and then we have Wonder Woman, issue number 16. Tom King has been swinging for the fences on this. And it's only 16 issues in, so it's a couple trades. You could probably find the single issues if you're looking for a awesome Wonder Woman book. That's not Absolute Wonder Woman. Absolute Wonder Woman is killer, but this is Wonder Woman in continuity, not in the Absolute universe. Check out Tom King. So this one has Detective Chimp, which is one of my favorite characters from the Justice League Dark. And I went with this variant cover just because of we got this really cool silhouette. Next up, we have my independent books. We got Thundercats issue number 11, Declan Shelby variant cover. The Rocketeers issue number 2. I don't know if this is a variant. Tomasi and Manapool on this. Highly recommend this. This is a really fun book. Okay, and this is just the second issue. If you're trying to kind of dip your toes in Ghost Machine, Rockefellers is a great place to start. Just 2 issues. You get cardstock covers. It's a high quality paper stock. It really, they care about the comic book they're producing over at Ghost Machine Productions. Last pull is Resurgent of the Valiant Universe, issue number 4 of 4. I've not read any of these yet. I'm only pulling these because I really loved the, let's see, it wasn't the Hopeless volume of X-O Manowar, but the Matt Kent volume, and oh, who did it before him? So it's volume 3 and volume 4 of X-O Manowar is so good, and I'm hoping that what is this, Alien Books can turn it around and tell some great Exo stories. The two kind of mini series, the first one was really good. This was Exo Manowar. I don't remember. The last one was Invictus, which I really thought they rushed, but the one before that was pretty solid. It kind of injected a neo space Roman Empire, and the art was amazing. And then the sequel to it just fell apart. And I think it was because Alien Books rushed it and they wanted to get this resurgent thing going. So I'm hopeful for EXO. I really am, but I'm doubtful that it's going to turn out. It doesn't seem to have the momentum that Valiant did before they started to squander the momentum they had. I'm using momentum a lot. Anyway, last book. Um, After I got all these, I checked to make sure I got all my books. I put them on a long box at Buy Me Toys and just go through. And I'm using not CLZ, it's Comic Book Geeks. I got my pull list up, the email. Okay, I got all my books. I was short a book. I think that's probably a diamond issue. if you if you've been following along, you're aware of these things. But I did see on some long boxes, because they got all the Marvel books on one side. On the opposite side, they got all these long boxes of DC books. And I was just sitting there and I went, wait a minute, that's Conan the Barbarian. That's volume 1. I'm looking for some books from that. So there were only 2 there. One of them I had, but this one I did not. And this one is a pristine copy of Conan the Barbarian, issue number 169. This is like as crispy clean as you can get. There's no spine ticks. The corners look great. Look at the just the colors on that. Is this oh, I wish they signed them. I feel this is a Buscema cover or an Ernie Chan cover. Maybe Ernie Chan. I'm going to check right now as we're talking. So those are all my books. I appreciate you hanging out and listening to me ramble on. I'm going to be posting a couple other videos as we come up. I'm looking in the front right here. It is John Buscema. There we go. Let's check that out again. John Buscema right there. So I will be sharing some more content. I got a couple kind of year in the end of the year videos. I want to reflect on the SMART goal I set at the beginning of the year and how I felt I did with that. I have some comic book recommendations I want to share based on some things I've been reading. I have stacks of comic books all over the place. I want to share that. And then I have some other books that came in. I got a mail call from Midtown Comics. They had a awesome sale over Black Friday, and I've been sitting on that to share that. And I got some half price books, and I thought was kind of this reflective moment for me as a collector, and so I'm going to be sharing that out all over the next couple weeks. Thank you for watching. I hope you are enjoying whatever you are reading. Comic books are an amazing thing, and I hope you enjoy the holidays. This is James for Read More Comics, and don't forget, enjoy what you're reading and read more comics.